Hello, everybody. Paul David here with Fat Boy Music. Today we're going to be learning the major scale. Now you ask yourself, what do I want to learn scales for? Again, as I said in my tutorial on the minor scale, there's two reasons specifically. I'm certain there are more. One, so you can play some solos. The scales will offer you the correct notes to play in any key. And secondly, you'll begin to gain an understanding on music theory. So right now we're just going to play the scale real quick for you. We're going to be learning the major scale in the key of A. As we did the minor scale in the key of A minor, this will be the major scale in the key of A major. And this is how it sounds. Now, as we look at the scale, we look at it as a pattern on the fretboard, not like piano players. Piano players have to memorize each scale specifically on the keyboard. Guitar players only have to memorize one pattern. And when they learn that one pattern, they can transpose that pattern up and down the fretboard and be able to play in every key just with one pattern. So the pattern that I demonstrated to you was the A major scale, starting on the first position, the 5th fret. If we look at the chart that I have up here, you will see that the pattern goes like this. The first string, the E string, starting out on the 5th fret, is played by using your 2nd and 4th finger. Then we go to the A string and we play the 1st, 2nd, and 4th finger. Off to the D string, the 1st, 3rd, and 4th finger. To the G string, the same thing, 1st, 3rd, and 4th finger. To the B string, the 2nd and 4th finger. And then the high E string, 1st, 2nd, and 4th finger. So the pattern is such. What you will need to do, remember this pattern, the major scale in the first position, and practice it, picking it up and down the fretboard until it becomes ingrained in you. Just like so. Now, if you look at the chart that I have written out for you here, you will see that there's X's on the chart. Those X's we're going to call the key notes. Since we're playing in the key of A, the key note would be an A note. So the key note exists on the E string 5th fret, the D string 7th fret, and the high E string 5th fret. This is important to understand for a couple of reasons. Number one, it gives you a reference to your key when you're playing. You always know how to get back to the key note in reference to melody when you're playing a solo. And the second important thing that you need to realize is that key note, the A. If we take that key note anywhere on the fretboard and play the pattern that I just showed you, you will be in that prospective key. Example being, if we take it up here to the E string 8th fret and play a C note and follow that pattern, now we are playing in the key of C major, like so. Or down to the G note, E string 3rd fret, playing the same pattern. And thus follows the whole fretboard. Given simple example, The key of F, start the pattern out on the F note. F sharp, start it out on the F sharp note. A flat on the A flat note. B flat on the B flat note. B. And so on. So in review, we're presented with a pattern. If we memorize that pattern, we instill in us the major scale. That specific pattern, starting with that key note, anywhere on that fretboard, will put you in the correct key that you're playing in for solos. The last thing I want to point out to you, we're going to call this note, the first note, the E string 5th fret, our first tone. The B becomes the second tone. The D flat becomes your third tone. The D becomes your fourth tone. The E becomes your fifth tone. The F sharp becomes your sixth tone. And the A flat becomes your seventh tone. And obviously, your A becomes your eighth tone. Understanding, this will go all the way through the fretboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so on up the fretboard. This is a little bit important for, I'm going to do 3 lessons. One, the first one, you're going to learn the major scale first position. Our second lesson, we're going to learn the rest of the positions on the fretboard. There are 4 more patterns to memorize. If you understand these patterns, you can play in any major scale, anywhere on the fretboard. And I hope this lesson was helpful for you. If it was, would you please subscribe below to my channel? Hit the like, ring the bell, and always thank you for watching my channel.